you don't have questions in your vendor questionnaires when you're polling them about their cybersecurity profile, you might want to consider doing that because I think it can be a big impact, especially when it comes to proprietary data and that kind of thing.
Welcome back to the 12 Days of Cybersecurity. Next is question number 10. As we continue to rely more on vendors, what are your thoughts for the best ways to ensure your vendors are secure if they're heavily using an AI program? Randy, Troy, who wants to take that one first? Randy?
Yeah, I can start on this one. Troy's gone first, I think, on all of them, so for a little bit here. Yeah, and I think the important part about vendor management is not too much different than what we've seen in the past, right? You have to know what the vendor's doing. So I think it's important to have, first of all, a basic understanding of how AI works, or at least what it is, right? Troy mentioned the black box. We don't know the nitty-gritty details, but at least how it functions, so that you can at least ask the right questions of the vendor and comprehend the answers. And so if your vendor is leveraging, open AI, right, we've talked about that. That vendor might be sending your data to a fourth party, right? Sending it over to OpenAI. And so I think we need to know what form the data are in and who can access it, just in terms of what that vendor is doing with it, what they're using, so that we understand. We as the customer, again, understand what models they're using, what data they're sending, where it's contained. And just how they're going about it. And again, I think that starts with a basic understanding of AI, not in great detail, but just knowing that when somebody says, "Oh yeah, I send this part of your policy to GPT-4 or to OpenAI," right? Just knowing what that implies, I think, is important. Kind of the first step. Again, just understanding the basics, so you can ask the right questions and know what the answers are that you're getting back.
Yeah, I think you're spot on, Randy. Making sure that we're asking about AI in our vendor questionnaires, right? And having them know that we care about how they're using AI when it comes to cybersecurity. So absolutely. And so if you don't have questions in your vendor questionnaires when you're polling them about their cybersecurity profile, you might want to consider doing that. Because I think it can be a big impact, especially when it comes to proprietary data and that kind of thing.
So Lucas?
Yeah, it looks, just skimming here, very similar with a couple differences or a couple things added. So ensuring the security of vendors heavily using AI involves a comprehensive approach that combines technical assessments, contractual obligations, and ongoing monitoring. Here are some best practices to help you enhance the security of your vendors using AI. Vendor selection, thorough evaluation. Conduct a comprehensive assessment of the vendor's security practices before entering into any agreements. Contractual agreements. Define security standards, as well as data handling and privacy. Technical security measures, such as data encryption, access controls, and regular audits. AI model security, model validation. Ensure that the AI models used by the vendor undergo thorough validation and testing to identify and mitigate potential security risks, as well as model explainability. Understand how the AI model makes decisions and whether they can be explained and validated to ensure transparency and trust. Incident response and reporting, including incident response plan and reporting obligations. Monitoring and continuous improvement, continuous monitoring and feedback loops. Regulatory compliance, ensuring legal and regulatory requirements. Insurance for cybersecurity. Exit strategy, including data ownership and deletion, as well as employee training, ensuring they have a security awareness and training program in place, and ensure that the vendor provides security training for its employees involved in AI development and maintenance.
I think AI got us on that one again, Randy.
I have a thought on that.
Okay.
And I might be reaching, but if you listen to that answer, right, certainly on the surface, we got our booties kicked on that one. But I think that you and I made the assumption that if somebody's listening to this podcast, they kind of know what a full vendor management program looks like. And I think a lot of those responses were more around a full vendor management program. So I don't feel like we lost as badly as it
Okay.
felt like on the surface.
I'll second that. I'll second that.